Hello YouTubers, this is Allison and I'm back with my first story, Narration. I hope you enjoy it. This story is called A Happy Life. A young Sadian girl had been gliding through the trees trying to keep up with the hovenin that she named Rook, which was a long-haired horse with the color of gold mixed with red. They were having their usual race on the sunny afternoon. It was one of those rare times when the baby sun was followed by its mother star. This happened only once every 2 years and marked the beginning of the Sun Festival. Malayla was excited since she was going to be performing in the festival, her high wire dance act that gracefully utilized her gliding ability. Many of the young ones insisted that she was flying, but it was more of an illusion than anything else. The morning skirmish she and Rook were taking part in was a way of training for the performance in the festival. She continued her race, determined to win this time, all of her concentration focused in leaping from tree to tree, looking for the perfect place where her feet would land with the least amount of impact so her balance wouldn't be thrown off. She was coming to the end of the forest that led to a small lake. It was her favorite place away from home. She was mostly a tree dweller, but she loved the water just as well as the land. She jumped down from the last tree. She was disappointed to see that Rook was leisurely drinking water from a small puddle. She hit the ground panting while the high-spirited hovenin was standing there without a care in the world. He looked up at her with his hypnotic blue eyes. They seemed to be laughing at her. Her own red orbs were darker than normal, indicating that she was annoyed. The times that Malayla raced Rook, she had never won. But that was probably due to the fact that hovenins had much more powerful legs than their Sadian masters. Malayla took her defeat with grace, seeing that she came close to winning, when most Sadians wouldn't even come close. Breathing heavy when she took out her flask of water and drank until she was satisfied. Rook came up to her and nudged her. "Well, I guess you win again," Malayla said and gave him a gentle stroke. She reached into her satchel and pulled out a treat for him. He happily accepted it just as someone approached. After feeling Foreign's shadow, Malayla looked up while tensing up. Her defenses were up and they always were whenever she was away from home. There was a look of relief when she realized who it was. "Oh, it's just you." Over at the boy with green skin. He was a sea dweller and spent most of his time at this lake, seeing that it was one of the few freshwater lakes in the region. His name was Deb and her oldest friend, even though there were times that she couldn't stand being near him. "Nice to see you too, Mal," he said, using the shortened version of her name. She hated it, and it was the only reason he had said it. "Call me that," Malayla said, and made a barrier between them by standing on the other side of Rook. The animal looked over at Deb and gave him a dirty look. "See, even Rook doesn't like you." "You like me, Mal, and you like it when I call you that." She turned around with her back to him and made him chuckle. "You want to know how I know?" She shook her head, telling him that she didn't. "It's because no one else calls you that, so it makes you feel special." "I am special," Malayla said and turned around. Her red eyes glowed dark red, indicating that she was angry. "I happen to be the best tree runner in the region." "Malayla, you're the only tree runner in the region," Deb said and rolled his yellow eyes, "and one of the few blues in the city." "I know I'm a minority, Deb," she said and folded her arms over. "Does that mean I'm a freak?" "Oh, it just means you're different. Well, different than greens. But even for a blue, you're not normal. Your kind is supposed to be tree dwellers and live in the forest. But what do? You live on a farm and visit the lake every day out in the open." "I like the water," Malayla said, with her hands on her hips. Rook moved his head towards Deb, warning him to keep his distance. "You like the water, so why can't I?" "That's what makes you special, little girl," he said, and that was something she didn't like to be called. It indicated that she was an ignorant child, but she was anything of the sort. She may have been a country girl, but she was quite intelligent. You are all three, a tree, land, and sea dweller. Wasn't there some prophecy your mother made about a triad Sadian? I think maybe it was about you. Mother made a lot of prophecies before she died, but I don't think any of them were about me, she said with a determined look in her eye. It's not about liking the water, Mal, he said. By then moved away. He was more interested in having a run down the valley where other Hovenans gathered. Then just what is it? Malala asked, curious about the theories that were forming inside his mind. It's like you're connected to it, he said, and she had to admit he was right. He turned away, looking to the trees, and then the valley, and at last the lake. She felt torn. She was like a woman with three lovers who couldn't decide which one she loved most. In her mind she felt she must choose, but her heart forbade it. She wanted all three in her selfishness, and she would have her way. You have to choose, Deb said and came closer to her. You should at least know about sea dwellers. You may be a blue, but you're still a Sadian. He held out his hand, and she was reluctant to take it. He led her towards the water, and they dove in, and soon vanished under its surface. To be continued! Haha. Well, that was the first scene. I hope you liked it. If so, give it a like and subscribe if you liked it. I plan to upload one video a week. This story is still a work in progress, so let me know what you would like to see happen in the story down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!